Well, Triple H, you put up a bad show tonight. You're a good wrestler, but you're a bad booker. You watched a terrible show tonight. So much I say to all of you watching this video. Name my topic tonight is called Mayhem of Morons in Minneapolis, Minnesota. With 12 days until WrestleMania Vegas, is it now going to be worth watching? So much I say tonight. Before I do, I'm going to open the show with a little bit of music. I'm going to open up the show with the music, little song from, those you know, today's the 30th anniversary of my favorite Disney movie that I grew up watching when I was a kid called I'm going to open up the show with the song from the movie soundtrack. It's called Stand Out by R&B sensation legend Tevin Campbell. You know, the movie's 30th anniversary, one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. So stick around, be right back and get the music playing, and I'll be right back. Oh, sorry, hold on a second. Yep, Stand Out by Tevin Campbell for the movie's 20th anniversary. One of my favorite Disney movies growing up when I was little. So, okay. So let's get started with tonight's show. Let's get it all started. How lame and stupid it was tonight. Okay, then now together forever, the WWE video leads us into the show. We get a shot of the Allegiant Stadium, which will host WrestleMania Vegas in 12 days. Pre-show arrivals. World Heavyweight Champion the Ring General Gunther walks to the Target Center smiling after his vicious beating of Jimmy Uso last week. The New Day is in attendance. They will be looking for their 12th Tag Team Championship. World Tag Team Champions Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders are shown arriving. The Judgment Day are shown walking together. Dirty Dum Dum Mysterio will battle Penta. Paul Heyman is shown talking on his phone. Then we see a video of last week. Bianca Belair was a special guest referee in the Women's World Championship match with Rhea Ripley against the champion Io Sky. Belair got hit a few times. Ripley had Sky pinned for a long time, but Belair was down. After being continually hit, Belair called the match off. Ripley left Sky and Belair down the ring. Sky and Belair are currently set to battle at WrestleMania 41. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce addresses the Raw Women's World Championship situation heading to WrestleMania Vegas. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is in the ring with Raw Women's World Championship on a podium. Pearce welcomes everyone to Monday Night Raw. It's time to get business. We all saw what happened last week, revolving around the Raw Women's World Championship. The situation at WrestleMania needs to be addressed. WrestleMania Vegas needs to be addressed. Pearce introduces Raw Women's World Champion Io Sky. Sky makes her entrance and shakes the hands with Pearce. Pearce then introduces Sky as WrestleMania Vegas opponent, Bianca Belair. Belair makes her entrance and gets in the ring. Pearce then introduces Rhea Ripley and incorrectly says she is representing Judgment Day. Yeah, she's not in Judgment Day no more. That's right. That she's not in Judgment Day. I mean, why? I mean, she got stabbed. She got double crossed by a dirty dum dum. Ripley has not been a part of Judgment Day since Dirty Dum Dum turned on her last year at SummerSlam 2004. Ripley makes her entrance, gets in the ring. Yeah, Adam Pearce, you kind of misspoke there, man. Kind of misspoke. Pearce thanks the three women for joining him. Pearce takes responsibility for what happened last week. He was wrong to put Bianca in the position as a referee because he assumed that the three of them could handle like this like professionals. There is a way to right this wrong. At WrestleMania, Io Sky will defend the Raw Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Now, I don't know why this match hasn't happened anyway, because Bianca Belair is on SmackDown, not Raw. And it should have been, in my opinion, it should have been Rhea. It should have been Tiffany versus Charlotte versus Tiffy time on SmackDown. It would have been triple threat, but I don't know why in the world they haven't Bianca Belair on SmackDown when she's on Raw. This doesn't make sense. Hopefully after WrestleMania 41, they'll do the draft again. There was a WrestleMania Vegas. Io Sky will defend the Raw Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Pierce produces a contract and asks for 3 signatures. Belair says a few weeks ago this would have pissed her off because she earned her way to WrestleMania Vegas. They told her to win the Elimination Chamber and she did that. They told her to be a special guest referee and she did that. She did all through blood, sweat, and tears. Ripley thinks she can just walk in and do whatever the hell she wants and gets added into the match. Belair doesn't care because she knows Ripley isn't going anywhere. She's happy Ripley is being added into the match. She's not afraid of Ripley. She went through Elimination Chamber and watched two of her closest friends tear each other apart, and she overcame. A Rhea chant picks up. Belair says she is not going to win the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania Vegas and will go through Rhea Ripley to get it. Belair signs the contract. Ripley begins to talk, but Belair tells her to shut up. Belair shoves the contract into Ripley and says she already got what she wants. Ripley picks up the contract and signs it. Ripley throws the contract at Belair, but she catches it. Sky starts to talk, but Ripley shoves her out of the way. Sky throws the microphone down. There they go. Once again, she gets disrespected again. Sky throws the microphone down and angrily goes to leave the ring. Pierce stops her and steps between Belair and Ripley. Sky hits a springboard missile dropkick on Ripley, knocking her into Belair. That was stiff. Sky signs the contract, grabs her title, and leaves the ring. And all I can say, I don't blame Sky. I don't. Now I said to myself that about the Rhea Ripley when Bianca Belair was a special guest referee, she was just doing her job, and she was just doing her job, and she had good reason to stop the match. There was some boos in the crowd. You saw and I know. In my opinion, I know some of you think this is nothing compared to WrestleMania 10, when the late Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig was a special guest referee, and when it was against Lex Luger and Yokozuna for the WWE title. I bet you somehow there's she's going either Rhea or Bianca will go heel. Last Monday on Raw, Finn Balor and Dirty Dum Dum defeated Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker and Penta. Breaker accidentally speared Pierre, leading to the loss. It is official. Braun Breaker will defend the Intercontinental title against Finn Balor, Penta, and Dirty Dum Dum. And I hope to pray to God they do not put that belt on Dirty Dum Dum. Your Judgment Day Clubhouse segment here. Finn Balor's shirt that Dirty Dum Dum was added to the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania Vegas. Mysterio is excited. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan says she got Mysterio added to the match. Either way, they would win the title if one of them wins. Balor says it'll be time for Mysterio to prove what it takes to win at WrestleMania Vegas. People say Mysterio isn't tough enough and doesn't have the killer instinct. They say Mysterio's a loser. Mysterio's a loser. Balor says Mysterio can prove them wrong by beating Penta all by himself. Mysterio looks at a little worried. Carlito says he has Mysterio's back. Carlito then says he went to the Mall of America. Backstage 7, Bayley's walking backstage. She'll buy a Lyra Valkyrie for the Women's Intercontinental Championship next. You got Women's Intercontinental Championship, Intercontinental Champion Bayley versus Lyra Valkyrie. Referee is Danilo and Fabio. The bell rings and they go for a lockup, but they can't grab each other. They do a little chain wrestling before Valkyrie hits a snapmare. The crowd starts doing a chant for the women. Bayley hooks a side headlock. Valkyrie whips her off and goes for a monkey flip. But Bayley puts the brakes on. Bayley rolls her up for a 2 count. They circle the ring and Valkyrie takes her down with a drop toe hold. Bayley quickly rebounds and rolls her up for another 2 count. Bayley taunts her. Bayley blocks a kick and knees Valkyrie in the face. Bayley goes for a sunset flip bomb in the corner, but Valkyrie stays standing strong. Valkyrie rolls her up for a 2 count. Valkyrie hits some strikes followed by a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Bayley reverses a whip into the corner, but Valkyrie slingshots over her. Valkyrie takes her down and applies a pendulum submission. Valkyrie drops her and pins her for a 2 count. Valkyrie soon sends her into the ropes for a spin kick, but Bayley avoids it. Valkyrie manages to send her out of the ring and hits a wrecking ball drop kick. Valkyrie sends her back into the ring and heads to the top rope for a flying crossbody block for a 2 count. Then go to commercial break. We return from the break to see Bayley applying a single leg crab. Valkyrie turns over and kicks Bayley away. They trade forearm shots before Bayley sends her to the apron, snaps her off the middle rope. Valkyrie falls to the floor. Bayley exits the ring and charges, sliding to the turnbuckles to hit a knee to the face. Bayley gets in the ring and charges for a suicide dive, but she crashes and burns when Valkyrie moves. Valkyrie gets in the ring and charges for a suicide dive, but Bayley catches her and hits Bayley the belly on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Both men barely beat the count. Bayley lifts Valkyrie and goes for a slam, but Valkyrie counters with an arm drag. Valkyrie hits an enziguri followed by a gut wrench sit out powerbomb for a 2 count. Valkyrie goes to lift her, but Bayley fights out. Valkyrie cuts her off with a knee for Nightwing, but Bayley slides off. Bayley knees her in the face for a near fall. Bayley gets up and places Valkyrie on the top rope. The crowd starts to buzz for the match. Valkyrie fights out of a suplex and drops down for a powerbomb attempt. Valkyrie's back gives out, so she drops Bayley. Bayley takes advantage of the situation to hit a sunset flip bomb into the turnbuckles. Bayley kicks Valkyrie back, but Valkyrie fights back and hits a tornado DDT. Valkyrie rolls through and hits a fisherman suplex. 1, 2, Bayley kicks out. Valkyrie goes to the top rope for a missile drop kick, but Bayley picks her out of midair and applies a Boston Crab. Valkyrie screams in pain and claws to the bottom rope, but Bayley pulls her into the corner of the center of the ring. The crowd is cheering. Valkyrie grabs the ankle, so Bayley lets the hold go and attempts a rose plant. Valkyrie rolls out of it and hits Bayley with a jackknife pin for the win. Good match. That was good. She's a real fighting women's Intercontinental champion, Lyra Valkyrie. She still retains. But Lyra celebrates with the women's Intercontinental championship. She goes to shake Bayley's hand, but Bayley slaps her hand away and goes to leave. Okay, come on, Bayley. Victory is a victory. She's a good athlete. Bayley then stops and gets back in the ring to hug Valkyrie. Bayley holds up Valkyrie's arm. They will team to get on SmackDown for a shot at a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania in Vegas. Yeah, Bayley shouldn't be like that. Come on, I mean, a victory is a victory. She's a really good athlete. Don't be a sore loser. Be a graceful loser. Kathy Kelly is backstage. I feel like somehow a little heel turn coming. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Bert Kreischer, but Chad Gable and American Maid interrupt. Gable says this arrogant douchebag Gable says he's a fan of Creature. Creature must be a fan of his because he is here to see Minnesota's own shining star. Still, get to see his boys, the Creed brothers, team with El Grande and Mexicano to take on the LWO. Creature says he's not here for the American Made. Alpha Academy walks in, and Otis and Creature both rip their shirts off. Gable and American Made walk off in disgust. Cry me a river, boo hoo hoo, Gable. And the rest of you. Ivy and whoever others. Rey Mysterio was walking with LWO backstage. They'll battle American Made and El Grande Mexicano next. Commercial break. AJ Styles will battle Logan Paul at WrestleMania 41. In a backstage interview, Jackie Redmond is backstage with AJ Styles. She said Logan Paul had a lot of audacity last week. Where's his head at? Styles says he's in a good headspace right now. He can embarrass Logan Paul on the grandest stage of them all. Because you cannot be experienced. Karrion Kross walks up to them with him with Scarlett Cross as where the experience gone last week. They can't have this. AJ Styles. Styles asking, well, you can't embarrass Logan Paul and in the greatest danger of all because you can't be experienced. Karrion Kross walks up to him with Scarlett. Cross asks where experience got him last week. They can't have this. AJ Styles asks him what his obsession with the old AJ Styles. But Styles will talk to Adam Pearce and give Cross a taste next week. Styles walks off. Scarlett says they got Styles again. Cross agrees. 2 weeks ago on Raw, El Grande Mexicano defeated Dragon Lee by ripping his mask off. Then we see the 6-man tag team match. Six-man tag team match: LWO, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilder, and Cruz del Toro with Rey Mysterio versus American Made, Brutus and Julius Creed, and El Grande Americano with Ivy Nile. Brutus Creed will start against Cruz del Toro. Dragon Lee yells at Brutus, but Brutus, who takes del Toro down and applies a hammerlock. Del Toro gets out with a snapmare, but Brutus soon runs him over with a shoulder tackle. Julius Creed tags in, but del Toro hits an arm drag. Joaquin Wilder tags in. Wilder and del Toro take Julius down before del Toro helps Wilder splash. Julius for a 2 count. Wilder hits a spinning head scissor takeover, followed by an armbar attempt. American May runs in, but the LWO cuts him off. The LWO goes back and forth with splashes on all three men. The LWO stands tall in the ring. They then hit American May and El Grande del Americano with a triple somersault sentons. Dragon Lee gets him in the ring. The LWO heads to the top rope, but American May cuts them off. They hit the LWO with 3 almost stereo suplexes. Back from the break, Julius takes Lee down and attacks his partners. Julius climbs to the top rope, but Lee knocks him down into a tree of woe and hits a double stomp. Bruce Del Toro tag in. Del Toro on springboard crossbody black before knocking Americana off the apron. Del Toro takes Brutus down before hitting Julius with a hurricanrana. Del Toro kicks Brutus in the face and hits twisting iron. Del Toro rips his shirt off and hits Brutus with a rolling senton, followed by a suicide dive on Julius. Americana tags in and rolls Del Toro up and with a handful of right tights for a 2 count. Oh, second scene. Dragon Lee tags in Lee Americano. Lee Americano get Kano in a powerbomb position. Lee dives toward dives, but Americano counters, so into a splash fly made out of air. That was a nasty landing. Lee yells at Americano for ripping his mask ripping off his mask. Lee kicks Americano in the face and hits a sit out powerbomb. Julius crushes Lee with a shooting star press. Julius landed on Lee's knees, holds his legs in pain. Wilder uses the backs of Del Toro. Julius uses Del Toro and Julius as steps to hit Bruce with a wild somerset sent down to the floor. Del Toro closes on Julius over the top rope and hits him with a corkscrew puncher to the floor. Ivan now hands Americano an object that he puts under his mask. Rey Mysterio appears to have seen this and yells at Americano. Americano headbutts the legendary luchador in the face. Lee attacks Americano and rips his mask. But Americano headbutts him with a loaded mask, knocking him to the canvas. Americano follows up with a flying headbutt for the win. American Made and El Grande Americana. Rey Mysterio looks on in disgust as Americana Made celebrates with that Chad Gable. Americana. Well, he is. We all know it's Chad Gable. We all know El Grande Americano and Chad Gable are the same guy. Everybody knows that shit. Everybody knows he's the same man. Video last week on Raw, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther beat Jim Uso into a bloody pulp as his brother, main event Jey Uso, was zip tied to the middle rope. And commercial break. Triple H's contributions to D-Generation X. Triple H's contributions to D-Generation X. Triple H will headline WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. Yeah, Triple H, you're a good wrestler, but you're a bad booker, like I said. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther addresses his bloody beating of Jimmy Uso. World Heavyweight Champion the ring general Gunther makes his way to the ring smiling. Yep, he showed no remorse. And look at his sickening. Look at him. He's wearing a red tie in honor of the bloody beating he delivered to Jimmy Uso in front of his brother. Gunther's WrestleMania opponent, main event Jey Uso. Gunther stands on the commentary table and poses with the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther gets in the ring and prepares to speak, but he's interrupted by Jey Uso's music. Main event Jey Uso comes out and is not in a celebratory mood. Uso does not yeet as he heads to the ring dressed in black. Gunther removes his jacket and starts to roll up his sleeves. Gunther smiles and mocks Uso. Uso sarcastically makes his way to the ring and never yeets once. Uso gets in the ring and rips the microphone out of Gunther's hand. Uso appears to be tearing up. Gunther is laughing at him. Uso removes his glasses and stares deep into Gunther's eyes. The crowd is buzzing in anticipation. Gunther lifts the microphone and calmly asks Gunther, "You have a mother?" Gunther looks confused. Uso asks if Gunther talks to his mother. Gunther says he does. What do they talk about? Does she ask the wife and the grandson what did they eat? That's regular family stuff. Uso says he has a mother too. Does Gunther want to know why they talk about this week? Uso had to tell her that her oldest son was laid up in the hospital bed. Her oldest son got 15 stitches across the forehead. She asked him, "Why didn't you protect him, Joshua?" Uso said he never lies to his mother. He told her he was afraid of Gunther. Gunther said had to drop on him and was 3 steps ahead of him. It wasn't enough. Gunther got his family involved. Gunther knows how he feels about his family, especially Jimmy. Jey is pacing in the ring. Jey violated his brother and left in a bloody pulp. Jimmy's blood was all over Gunther's body. Jimmy's blood is in Jey's hands too. Jey never felt more helpless and pissed off. Jey damn near got scared. Gunther made the whole world stop by violating his twin in front of him. It made Jey's heart stop. Crazy thing, it is the darkest moment in a time in front of the world, and light bulb went off, and Jey realized that he's not afraid of Gunther anymore. Crowd literally cheers. The crowd chants "Yeet." Gunther looks down and hits Jey. Hit and then at Jey. Jey says that before WrestleMania, Gunther can hug and kiss his family before WrestleMania. Jey will lay his hand and calm him down and say a prayer. He'll pray for Gunther, but more for himself. He'll ask the Lord to forgive him for the man he's about to become at WrestleMania. He'll get Gunther for himself, Jimmy, his whole family, and Jey will take the World Heavyweight Championship. And Jey throws the microphone at Gunther, and Gunther looks worried. Oh, you're gonna get yours, Gunther. Beware. Beware the yeet. Yeet! SmackDown recap. Last Friday on SmackDown, CM Punk revealed the favor he wants from Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman will be in CM Punk's corner for the triple threat match against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Reigns will not have his wise man on his side. The New Day makes their entrance. They'll battle for the World Tag Team Championship next. Then go to commercial break. Rhea Ripley will appear on Stephanie's Places, hosted by Stephanie McMahon. Just like her father, just like her taking the page of her father Vince's, but like he hosted many shows like prime time, like Tuesday Night Titans, which will become moved to Fridays on USA Network, called Friday Night Titans. Raw General Manager's office. Natalya, Max, and Dupree are talking with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. Pierce tells him to jump into the deep end. Rey Mysterio walks and it says he wants to face the idiot who mocks everything he stands for. Mysterio wants to expose him for the fraud El Grande Americano really is. Mysterio wants to pick the place. WrestleMania. Pierce makes the match official. Tony Hinchcliffe, the host of the roast of WrestleMania, will be on commentary for this match. World Tag Team Champion New Day, Kofi and Xavier versus the new War Raiders Eric and Ivar. Still, they were World Tag Team Champions. Referee Sean Bennett. Kofi will start against Ivar. Ivar quickly takes Kingston down. Kingston quickly retreats from the ring. Kingston regroups and tags in Xavier. Eric also tags in. Eric distracts Eric and Wood stomps him from behind and attacks him from behind. New Day does the unicorn stomp, but they don't want it called anymore. Eric fights back with a double clothesline. Ivar tags in and hits Kingston with a sidewalk slam, followed by a basement crossbody block. Eric tags back in and sends Kingston to the corner, but he slingshots over him. Eric grabs Kingston and slams him. Woods runs in and meets the same result. Ivar tags in. Kingston is slammed again, and Eric slams Ivar into Kingston. Eric sends Woods over the top rope. Woods attacks Eric and approaches him and grabs a steel chair. Eric rocks Woods with a forearm smash, and Ivar sends Kingston into the barricade on the other side of the ringside area. Ivar charges and uses his momentum to send him harder into the woods against the barricade. And go to commercial. Back from the break, Ivar flattens Woods with a seated senton. Eric and Kingston tag in, but Eric runs wild on him. Eric hits Woods with a rib breaker knee to the face. Eric then slams Kingston down. Ivar tags in and crushes Woods. They take Kingston out with the War Machine 1-2. Woods breaks it up. Woods is sent out of the ring. Woods grabs a steel chair, but Ivar rips it out of his hands and hits him in the ribs with a chair. The referee sees it and calls for the bell. Ringside DQ the New Day. The War Raiders retain the World Tag Team Championship. Sickening. Kingston rocks over with a chair shot back in the back of the neck. Eric angrily attacks Kingston, but Woods helps him overcome him. Kingston wedges the chair into the corner. They drive Eric head first into the chair. The New Day send Ivar into the timekeeper's area before getting into the ring to concentrate on Eric. Woods grabs Eric by the beard and places his head into the chair. Eric through the terrible neck injury to get back into the action. WWE officials and referees run down to prevent Woods from doing anything crazy. Video hype video for the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes plays the song "Last of My Kind" plays. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will defend the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship against John Cena at WrestleMania 41. Penta makes his entrance. He'll face Dirty Dum-Dum next. Then we go to commercial. Adi Shakir, creator of Devil May Cry on Netflix, is at ringside. Taylor and Daniel of Love Blindside are also at ringside. Finally, Bert and Creature is at ringside, downing a bear and showing off his physique. Penta versus Dirty Dum-Dum with Carlito. Referee is Eddie Orango. The bell rings and they lock up. Crowd chants "Dumb, you suck." Mysterio gets the corner and shoves Penta back. Penta grabs a wrist lock. They do some standing switches before trading shots. Mysterio takes Penta down and punches away at him before stomping him. Mysterio sends him to the corner and hits a corner clothesline. Mysterio covers his ears to avoid the crowd's jeers. Mysterio punches Penta down and backs him to the corner. Mysterio hits a shoulder thrust and taunts the crowd. Mysterio sends him to the corner into the ropes, but Penta ducks a clothesline and hits a hurricanrana. Penta follows up with a tilt-a-whirl, backbreaker, and a reverse sling blade. Mysterio rolls out of the ring and Carlito checks on him. Penta wipes them out with a dive off the top rope to the floor. Commercial break. Back from the break, Mysterio kicks Penta and hits Penta as he attempts a diving attack and hits the Three Amigos. Mysterio covers Penta for a 2 count. Penta soon hits the ropes, but Mysterio drop kicks him in the knees. Mysterio sets up for a 619, but Penta super kicks him down. Penta kicks Mysterio down and hits a headstand slingshot to the corner. Drop kick for a 2 count. Mysterio gets out of the Penta driver and whistles a super kick. Mysterio hits the ropes, and hits Penta with a Mexican destroyer. Mysterio knocks him to the ropes and hits a 619. Mysterio quickly goes to the top rope for a frog splash, but Penta gets the knees up and rolls him up. 1-2. Penta kicks out after taking a few moments to recover. Mysterio lifts Penta. Penta elbows out and takes Mysterio down. Penta snaps the arm with a sacrifice. Penta follows up with a Penta driver for the win. Good victory. Then bam, Carlito attacks Penta from behind. Carlito drops him with a backstabber. Carlito Mysterio begin to double team Penta until WWE Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker comes out to the stage. Carlito goes to meet him on the aisleway, but Breaker splits him in two with an insane spear on the floor. Breaker gets back in the ring and crushes Mysterio with a spear. Breaker is fired up. Breaker goes for the corner and charges to hit Penta with a spear. Breaker goes to pose with the Intercontinental Championship, but Finn Balor attacks him from behind and hits falling elbow drop. Balor holds the Intercontinental Championship and taunts Penta before holding it up. Balor turns to see Breaker charging, but so he retreats to the ring. And that's garbage. Someone needs to get the Intercontinental title for Braun Breaker. I don't know why they trying to push him back in his face, and he shouldn't have the Intercontinental title in the first place. He did some bad shit to many people, putting everyone on an injury list. We see a drone shot of WrestleMania going on in Sacramento, California, the site of the final Raw before WrestleMania Vegas. Next week, AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross, the OTC Roman Reigns will appear. Roman Reigns will participate in his 11th WrestleMania event of all time. Backstage segment. Paul Heyman is shown. We'll hear from him next. Commercial break. Paul Heyman addresses CM Punk's being in CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania Vegas. Paul Heyman is in the ring and Heyman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I want to state a couple of things for the record so we can just get it out of the way and we can move on to WrestleMania." That's my little voice. I know all of you think of my Paul Heyman voice. The first item is that he will always be loyal to his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. The second item is that he will always be loyal to his best friend in the world, CM Punk. Just because he is loyal to them both does not mean he will ever in his life be disloyal to either one of them. When it comes to WrestleMania Vegas, Heyman wants to get one thing perfectly clear. Before we find out what Heyman wants to make clear, burn it down! Seth freaking Rollins makes his entrance. Heyman looks disgusted to see Rollins out there. Rollins looks into Heyman's face before greeting Minneapolis and welcoming them to Monday Night Rollins. In case they don't know, he is a visionary and a revolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins. Tonight is not about Rollins, it's about Paul Heyman. Heyman is out here talking about loyalty, which is the reason Rollins wants to say hi to him. Rollins asks Paul Heyman, whose side are you on? Will he be the very best friend of CM Punk? Heyman rolls his eyes. A CM Punk chant picks up, and Rollins asks if he will be the wise man to Roman Reigns. An OTC chant picks up as the crowd puts the ones in the air. Rollins says to Heyman, is he trying to convince everyone and himself that he can do both at the same time? It occurred to Rollins over the past week that Heyman is neither. Rollins knows Heyman will give him the sheeple about how Roman Reigns did so much, but Reigns didn't give a damn about Heyman. Reigns likes Heyman to shine his shoes, book his private jets, or order his steaks, and hand him his Ula Fala. Reigns doesn't respect Heyman. Rollins takes Heyman back into the main event of last year's WrestleMania, when he lost the title to thank someone well-dressed visionary. Reigns disappeared into the ether and left Heyman in hands of his loving family with Sol Sioka. Did they treat him well? Were they loving? They treated Heyman like he was the scum of the earth. That's true. Everyone wondered when Reigns will save Heyman. Rollins asks if Reigns will rescue Heyman. Heyman shakes his head. Rollins says Reigns has left Heyman to be massacred in his hometown in front of his children. Jacob and Isaiah had to watch their father be put through a table because Roman Reigns didn't care about him. CM Punk wasn't also there to rescue him. Best friends love each other and they're there for each other. He never mentioned Brock Lesnar in this situation on Rollins. They don't use each other when it's convenient. 10 years ago, CM Punk walked out of here on everyone in Heyman. Did he take Heyman with him? No, he tried to tear down everything Heyman was building here. Did CM Punk come back and embrace Heyman? No. Punk and Heyman loved to reminisce about war games, but Punk wasn't the first to be on Team Roman. Rollins was. Heyman acknowledges that. Rollins tells him to stop him when he was telling lies. Rollins declined. Punk wasn't the first choice. He was the last and only choice. Did he join Team Roman out of the goodness of his heart because he loved his best friend, Paul Heyman? No, Punk knew he could because he used it as a favor to get out of Heyman. Rollins says Punk is not Heyman's best friend. Punk doesn't love anyone but himself. Rollins will be honest with everyone. He feels bad for Heyman. Heyman has tears in his eyes. Heyman is a unenviable position. Unevitable position. The easiest solution would be for him to remove himself entirely from this situation. Let Rollins, Reigns, and Punk battle it out at WrestleMania Vegas for the soul of this industry. Heyman shakes his head. Rollins understands he won't betray his friend and the tribal chief if there were only a way to remove him from the situation. Heyman realizes what is going on. Rollins says he will take it as a privilege to remove him from the situation, but situation right here and now. It'll be quick and easy. A boot back to the head, one quick stomp, and it's all over. No one is here to save him. Roman isn't here to save him. Punk isn't here to make friends. He is here to make money. Heyman sneers at Rollins. Rollins asks how much money is Heyman worth. Is he worth this much? Rollins shoves him lightly. Is he worth this much? Rollins lightly slaps Heyman in the face. Rollins continues to shove him, so Heyman grabs his arm. Heyman shouts, "Don't you ever put your damn hands on me again." Heyman is alright, so Rollins shoves him in the corner. CM Punk's music hits, and Second City Saint runs down to save Paul Heyman. Punk punches away at Rollins. The fight spills into the ringside, and Punk sends Rollins over the commentary table. They knock over the Prime Energy station before Punk sends Rollins into the steel steps. Punk punches punches Rollins in the head and presses his head onto the bottom of the half of the steel steps. Punk backs up and charges for stomps on the steps, but Rollins avoids it and gets in the ring. Punk hits Punk with a stomp and gets in the ring. Heyman checks on Punk and sizes Heyman and charges up. Rollins stomps on the mat near Heyman's head. Heyman is stunned that Rollins didn't deliver a stomp on him. Rollins says, "Now you owe me a favor." This was terrible, all I can say is this. I think Seth Rollins is still pissed over thinks that thinks that Roman Reigns is just pissed off over the fact that Rollins cashed his Money in the Bank contract in at WrestleMania 31 10 years ago. I think this is all just karma for Seth Rollins here. Now, the real question is because this was a terrible show, Mayhem and Morons in Minneapolis. Now, the real question is, with 12 days until WrestleMania Vegas, is it now going to be worth watching? I don't think so. Cause look, we all go. Triple H, he's got. Triple H, Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, TKO Holdings. Look, he's got no celebrity. He's got no celebrity. We all know he's not gonna have Wayne Newton to do the national anthem because Vegas made Wayne Newton. He's famous for Las Vegas. We all know Triple H is not gonna have any celebrity timekeepers like they did before at WrestleMania because WrestleMania they've been having celebrity timekeepers. They've been having celebrity backstage interviewers at WrestleMania, and they even had celebrity guest ring announcers. We all know he's not going to do that because it shows you what a bad booker is because Vince McMahon did that stuff before, having celebrities and celebrity timekeepers and blah 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 and all that stuff. Tonight was just crap. Complete crap. Okay, now I got that out of the way. Now it's time for something I like to do. It's time for Justin's Timeline History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and so on and so on. All you hear that faint little tune, that's the tune from Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Can't wait for his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025, because the movie was released on July 3rd, 1985. Let's go to Saturday, April the 5th. Let's go to that day, shall we? So. One second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, last Saturday was a happy 69th birthday to WWE Hall of Famer Diamond Out DDP Diamond Dallas Page. Last Saturday would have been a happy 80th. Happy. Let's see how old he was. He would have been. Yeah, last Saturday would have been a happy 80th birthday to the seeker of the Wild Samoans. He now is up there having with Alpha. He died on June 25th, 2024. He's Roman Reigns' father. Charlotte Flair turned 39 last Saturday. Dirty Dum Dum turned 28 last Saturday. And a piece of garbage he was tonight, by the way. And let's see what else. Okay, on April 5th, 1985, on WWF All-Star Wrestling. WWF Friday Night Titans. Vince McMahon interviews with there's an interview with Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik about their victory against the U.S. Express, Mike Rotunda, and Barry Windham at WrestleMania, first ever WrestleMania, along with Classic Freddie Blasting. Then a movie on that same day was released in theaters called Alamo Bay, starring Ed Harris and his wife, Amy Mannigan. Now let's go to April the 6th. Yesterday would have been a 110th birthday to Boris Canadian wrestler Boris Kamedikov, Canadian wrestler. Okay, Peter Maivia, The Rock's grandfather. The Rock's grandfather, Peter Maivia, he would have been the late Peter Maivia. He would have been 88. He would have been 88. He would have been 88. Let's see. Yesterday, April the 6th. Okay, April the 6th. 19. See. Okay. WCW. Your No, thank NWA Georgia was back back on television again due to the takeover by WWF, and after after WrestleMania, and it was a stupid idea anyway for Vince McMahon and WWF to take over on No More Than Black Saturday. Back to the original place, NWA Georgia World Championship Wrestling. And let's see. Okay, on WWF Championship Wrestling, Mean Gene Okerlund conducted on the results of WrestleMania Vegas, and Davey Boy Smith and Tyson, David Boy, British Bulldog David Boy Smith and Diamond Kid defeated AJ Peruzzi and Matt Bourne, so we know it's Don't the Clown. Don Morocco defeated Billy Mack. Intercontinental Champion Greg Valentine, Jimmy Hart, Brutus Robert BK defeated Aldo Marina and Jose Luis Rivera. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated Jim Haley. And El Matador Tito Santana and Junkyard Dog defeated Bob Wade and Rusty Brooks. And 2000 and that was April 6, 1985, and Raw. Okay, on Monday night, April 6, 2015, Monday Night Raw, Randy Orton defeated Kane by DQ. Seth Rollins with Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury defeated Neville. J&J Security. John Cena defeated Stardust to retain the U.S. title. Paige and Naomi defeated the Bella Twins. Ryback defeated Luke Harper. Luke Dragons defeated New Day. Roman Reigns defeated Big Show. Sheamus defeated Mark Henry. The Miz defeated Damien Mizdow. Randy Orton defeated Roman Reigns and Ryback in a triple threat match to be #1 contender for World Heavyweight Championship. And it was announced that AJ Styles, so we know it's CM Punk's then wife, retired from WWE and relinquished the Divas title that day. Let's go to today's April 7th. Okay, today would have been a happy. Today would have been a happy 88th birthday. Today would have been a happy 88th birthday to Miguel Perez Sr. He died on July 16th, 2005 of heart failure. Yeah, and about Sika, he died. Sika, I mentioned, the wrestler from Ryan Simone's. He died last year, June 25th, 2024. Very tragic passing. And Matt Anoa'i, Roman Reigns' brother, Matt Anoa'i, and his son of the son of the late Sika, some of you know was Rosie, died of a heart failure. He was born in 1970. He would have been 55 today. Roman's brother, Rosie, would have been 55 today. He died on April 17, 2017 in Pensacola, Florida. And Darren Drozdov, some of you know was Draws. He would have been 56 today. He would have been 56 today. He died of natural causes. He died. He was paralyzed. He died on June 30, 2023. D'Lo Brown accidentally broke his put him a little injury to his neck, and he felt guilty of what he did. D'Lo Brown. Very sad passing. Yeah, he was also a football player, I believe. I think, was he? Yeah, I think. And now see today's wrestling history. 11:59 right now. Almost 12 a.m. On this day in 1985, on All American Wrestling, me and Gene Oakland highlight some of the matches and WrestleMania clips and everything. The first ever WrestleMania. And movies are released on this day, April the 7th. Disney's A Goofy Movie. And Bad Boy starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Okay, it's 12 a.m. right now, April the 8th, 2025. And Rob Roy starring Liam Neeson and Jessica Lange. Let's see what other movies released on that day. An Awfully Big Adventure starring Hugh Grant and the late Alan Rickman was released. Yeah. Yeah. And yesterday on SmackDown, April 7, 2005, it was announced that JBL, everybody after WrestleMania, it was after WrestleMania 21. In a sense, the loss of his championship with John Cena, John Bradshaw Layfield goes to the ring and first gave a speech over his usual booers. While demanding his championship back, Eddie Guerrero, Booker T, Big Show, Rey Mysterio, and Kurt Angle interrupted, each aiming for John Cena's WWE title. Just then, Teddy Long, Raw SmackDown General Manager Teddy Long, came out to settle the argument, pointing out that JBL's contract didn't have a rematch clause to give any participants a shot at Cena's title. They are to put in a 6-man tournament for a number one contender for the WWE Championship, starting with Rey Mysterio versus John Bradshaw Layfield that night. In matches in the show last night, Paul London defeated Billy Kidman to retain the cruiserweight title. Big Show defeated Luther Reigns. Kurt Angle defeated Jobber Jose Miyasadas in a Kurt Angle Invitational Challenge match. JBL defeated Rey Mysterio by DQ in a WWE World Heavyweight Title #1 Contender Tournament first round match. And see what else. Costing me the title. It was by disqualification. I think Rey Mysterio used some kind of weapon. I think, yeah. And on WWE main event, Fandango with Rosa Mendez defeated R-Truth. Summer Rae defeated Emma. Mark Henry defeated Heath Slater. And Jack Swagger defeated Miz by submission. And that's it. That will do it for my wrestling history and birthdays, and pop culture and everything. My little review for last night's Monday Night Raw. Good thing it's back in its prime time spot again after being in a lot in countries and everything. So that's my review. And The Godfather, So Doing Slim is Lake Chad Henshaw said, dress up subject or sing like Lionel Richie James, like James Brown. Like to get in that hot tub, gonna make me sweat, gonna make me dry, gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. But I was born in '88, and I grew up in the 90s. I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little on Comedy Central. So that'll do it for the show, for my review. My review show. I'm gonna close out the show with a little music for all of you this midnight. I'm gonna close out the show for those of you who know that yesterday was the 30th anniversary of one of my favorite childhood Disney movies, a Goofy movie. I'm gonna close out the show another one from the film soundtrack called Eye to Eye by Tevin Campbell, R&B legend from 1995. So here is close out the show and happy 30th anniversary of the Goofy movie, my favorite childhood movie, favorite movie from Disney. So I hope you have a good night. And here it is, close out the show, Eye to Eye by Tevin Campbell from the Goofy movie soundtrack. In honor of the Disney movie's 30th anniversary yesterday. Good night, everybody. It's midnight. I'm getting some sleep. It's already morning. It's midnight. And morning, sorry. Yeah, it's midnight. So hope I have a good morning. I'm out of here. Peace. Here is close out the show. A little music. Eye to Eye by Tevin Campbell. In honor of the Goofy movie's 30th anniversary yesterday. Soundtrack. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good morning. Whatever.